Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope all of you are doing good. Now I'm going to take this opportunity to wish all of you a very happy new year. I hope the year 2024 brings us more exciting Nokia and HMD made devices. With me here is another retro review. This one holds dear to me because the Nokia 6600 is probably the most special phone that I have owned. This is the first device that I actually purchased by myself, and I took about a year to collect the money to save up, and eventually I managed to get the Nokia 6600. This cost about USD 500 back in the days. It is as high end as it could be back in 2003. Now that's right, this phone is currently 20 years old. Now despite being 20 years old, the phone still looks fresh, still looks beautiful, and as it is known for, Nokia devices are durable, and as you can see, it is still intact in one piece. Of course, the phone itself is made of plastic, but it is still durable, still pretty much usable in 2023. Now do take note that this is a GSM device. Now a lot of interesting things about the Nokia 6600 I'm going to share a bit, and also going to share some interesting things that you can still do with the Nokia 6600, so do watch till the end. Now the Nokia 6600 is 20 years old. This is the most premium device back in the day. Now do take note, for many of us, display like this were considered premium back in the days. This display has a 65,000 color reproduction. It's just 2.1 inch, and if you were to take note, we've come a long ways since a monochromatic display, and this is one of the major breakthrough back in 2003. Now this device also supports polyphonic ringtone, so this was one of the earliest devices where you can actually listen to songs and MP3 files. Now, a lot of interesting technology goes into the device. This device also has an infrared port. Not many phones these days has it, but it's certainly interesting. This allows this device to pair with another device to share certain contacts as well as to play games. And this device also supports an early version of Bluetooth 1.1, which is one of the reasons why I can make this video. Now, the Nokia 6600 has a small, probably a negligible processor, about 100 megahertz, but it keeps the device running. Now it runs on a very early Symbian operating system, Symbian 60 version 2, but nevertheless it is a smartphone. Now this device goes by many nicknames. Back in Malaysia, this is called as Nokia Sabun or the soap Nokia. So these were the times where designs of the phones were not limited to what we can think, and we get all type of designs and form factors which made each design unique. And this is one of the reasons why I keep my devices. Now the Nokia 6600 of course is the smartphone of its era. It has all the important features, be it for work, be it for play. It has everything covered back in the days. Now if you're familiar with the Nokia devices back in the day, of course this is running on Siemens S60 platform, and this is how the messaging looks like. You can text message, you can send an MMS as well as an email. So it does connect to the net using a GPRS connection. As you can see, at this point of time, 2G is still available in many parts of the world, unlike 3G, so this device is still very much usable. Now to type, you have the ever-friendly T9 dictionary to aid you with the typing, and as you can see, let's just go down there. Hi, how are you? Now even it is 20 years old, the typing experience is still beautiful. I really love how the keypads are designed. This is really widely spaced, really has a nice slightly elevated surface here, as you can see, just slightly ever elevated, and it gives you a really good tactile feedback. Now the joystick in the middle makes interaction is even easier, even more intuitive, even for a 20-year-old device. Now do take note, as I've said earlier, you can use the same messaging app to create a multimedia message as well as an email. Now when it goes to the contacts, you can create a contact and as well as assign a photo for the contact, and you can even sort of group this contact and assign individual ringtones for the group, so that you know which group is calling you without even looking at the device. When it comes to calendar, this is pretty much as we have seen even with the recent Nokia feature phone devices. These are local calendar which doesn't sync, but of course you can set your entries in and reminders in your calendar. Now going to the gallery, pretty much this is a very basic thing. You do save your images, your sounds as well as video clips. As I've said before, you can shoot pretty much decent still back in for a 20-year-old device. You can see how it is, and do take note that this has no flash, but it does a pretty good job for a 20-year-old device running a VGA camera. Of course, you can also record video. Just need to go here and go to video recording features, and you get to record video. So 2003, these were the days where all the imaging technology was sort of still growing into, and as you can see, these are pretty much very basic, very stock. You don't have option to edit, you don't have these options to have any additional parameters to be changed. So these are sort of the most basic backbone of imaging operating system that we had back in the day. Now when it comes to Real Player, this is where you can play video files, but do take note that the phone built-in memory is just 6 MB. You can expand it with a 32 MB MMC card. So yes, you can play certain video files with the Real One player. For more further features, you do get to have your own to-do list. So this is where you can just note down on the things you want to do, make a very quick entry. You have the due date, the priority set up, and once it's done, you can just delete them. And moving on, we do have connection. So as I've said before, these are the so-called premium devices back in the days. Back in the days, Bluetooth features were not commonly seen in mobile devices. I believe this is one of the first few devices in the world to feature a Bluetooth connection. So it supports Bluetooth 1.1, infrared, and connection manager. It can be used as a modem to connect to your PC for internet purposes. Now, the good thing about the Bluetooth devices, this is one of the reasons why I can still salvage some features from the Nokia 6600 even 20 years on. I'm going to share about this much later. Now extras is where you get to do more things. You get to take notes, calculator, you have a converter, you can even record your voice, as well as information like your wallet information, where you can store details about your credit card and whatnot. So this is all features that we are even seeing these days. So this is how futuristic the Symbian operating system was. Now with tools, you have voice communication. Basically you can so-called use it to create voice commands. To basically, you just need to press the button and you can launch it by just activating it. So you can basically sort of like launch a certain feature just by using your voice instead of typing it. Of course, it works a bit slow, but these are still futuristic features that are still very much usable in 2023. Now you've got a basic file manager, but as I've said, it comes with a 6 MB inbuilt memory. I don't have an SD card here, so you can expand with the right SD card. Games, we've got the Evolve colored Snake game here. This is the Snake EX. So as you've seen here, this can be played with 2 players through the infrared or Bluetooth connection. So this is how things were very much advanced with Nokia back in the days, where you can basically just connect to another device from your friend and enjoy the game. So let's get to the exciting part with the Nokia 6600. Now 20 years on, what can you do with the Nokia device? As I've said earlier, pretty much many parts of the world still has 2G support. Some areas do support GPRS connection still. The battery is pretty much replaceable, so you can sort of pop in a new battery and enjoy the device more than ever. Now what's interesting here with the Nokia 6600 is that pretty much you can still do some advanced things with the device. Now it's not going to be as advanced as my previous hacking video, where you can do a lot more in devices like the Nokia E72, the Nokia N9, the Nokia N8. This is somewhat a little less, but still more than what you would have expected a 20-year-old device to do. Now I'm going to start with Opera Mini. So Opera Mini will basically replace the standard built-in browser, allowing you to browse the net. You can still use it, as I'm going to show you here. I'll recommend you to get the Opera Mini 7 and above, because this is a very well made Opera browser for devices like this. It doesn't take much memory, just a few hundred kilobytes. So I'm just going to key in Google. Let's see. Let's go to, I'm going to cancel this. And now do take note that this is a very old device. So yes, you're not going to get this snappy performance out of it, but you still get to do much more than what you expect it to do. So do take note that it is going to be connected to a GPRS connection. These are the very basic internet connection that we had back in the days, and you can see it is still loading. It's going to take some time, so I'm going to fast forward the video here. There we go. So as you can see, you can still browse the net, you can still get latest information. I believe this is the Nokia, yes, this is the Nokia G21 which is popping up here. So just to show you, browsing works. Now what else works in this device? Now try to launch YouTube using the JTube app, which is very friendly towards Symbian devices, but unfortunately while the app loads well, it doesn't load the video. Probably some issues with the connection being GPRS, or probably the protocol doesn't sync well for this version of Symbian. So it just goes into an error, so I'm not going to recommend you to try. If at all you manage to run, do share out in the comment section, but for now YouTube is something that we can't get to experience on this device. Now of course the highlight is this, using the VNES game. This is a small emulator for Nintendo games, and as usual this is a 1200 in one collection, and we get to convert the Nokia 6600 into our own portable gaming device. So this is something that you wouldn't have expected, but yes, the Nokia 6600 can do all these pretty well. So this is one proof that you can still do a lot more with the Nokia 6600, and you can even listen to how good the audio is. I'm just going to play a short clip because I don't want to have any so-called copyright infringement. So let's exit here, and the app itself works pretty well. It doesn't stutter, it doesn't get stuck, and it's pretty easy on the Nokia 6600, unlike the Nokia E72, because the keypad layout is just nice, and you can even use the joystick for additional access. So these are some of the games that we have here. We also have the ever popular Super Mario game. As you can see, it just loads well, loads fast, and there's about 1200 games here, and all these games here, they just take a small amount of memory. So even you don't have like a memory card to expand, the built-in 6 MB memory is more than enough for you to install not only an Opera Mini browser, but as well as the ability to install 1200 games, which is more than enough, more than what we can expect for the 6600 to do. So as you can see, everything just loads fast, everything just works well. Now do take note that the apps that I'm showing here is just a proof that you can simply install Java-based apps to your Nokia 6600. You don't really have to hack or install any third-party software or the Symbian hacking method. You don't really need to go into the details of that. You can simply just pop in any Java-based apps into the device, preferably one that matches the screen resolution. So you can simply just type the appropriate screen resolution and just use Google search for all the apps that you need. And with a 32 MB expandable storage, you get to install much more Java apps than the ones that I've just shown. So this is a proof that the Nokia 6600, 20 years on, is still as exciting as ever, still can be a very reliable secondary device or a weekend device. So with that said, I hope you enjoyed this simple video presentation. I hope all of you, again, a very happy new year. Hope to see more exciting devices. For those of you who have had the Nokia 6600, do shout out in the comment section below. For those of you who have done more with the Nokia 6600, I would like to hear your side of the story as well. Do stay tuned for more videos like this, and do follow me on Twitter for updates on the go. I hope to see you in the next one. Do take care.